This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios of Pittsburgh, PA. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Yay! I'm doing the Kermit wavy arms, and so was back again with us just because he was doing the wavy arms. Krause is with us. Ron Krause. He's a gadget guru, something or other at Big Bank International Esquire.
Welcome back, Sorg.
It's been a while. I don't know what your title is officially, so we're just going with the normals.
That's fine.
There you go. And also back with us, somebody who I have not seen on the road for over a week. The Dutters is with us from Studio D.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know, right?
I've been in town for way too long.
I've been here 2 days, and it feels like it's been too long. And I go on the road tomorrow, of course. But this is the AwesomeCast. I'm so happy to have. I'm so happy to be here in front of equipment that doesn't go anywhere. Okay, I'm actually literally after the show is going to rip part of this out and take it with me to Michigan yet again. So we'll see if we can have a Michigan trip without vehicular calamity, because that's a trend I don't like. Anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. You can check out everything at awesomecast.com. You can email us at awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com, tweet us at awesomecast, and of course we are live every Tuesday, more or less. Should be for a good long time now. I don't think I have any conflicts until maybe September at this point for Tuesdays, but you can check out everything. We're live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at the AwesomeCast Facebook, on the Twitch for Sorgatron Media, and on the AwesomeCast YouTube page, where you guys can check out all the awesomeness there. And of course, this button doesn't work. And of course, you can also subscribe to us wherever you like to do your podcasting. And a big shout out to our friends over at postindustrial.com who have been sharing the awesomeness. Thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends, the executive producer level, Brian Crawford of bghmuseums.org. At the coffee club level, Matt Weller, Cynthia Klosky, and John DeGore. And at the fan show level, Michael Fedor and Dave Podner, spouse of Roos Jewelry Affair at roosjewelryaffair.com. You guys can support the show too. Have me say interesting things at patreon.com/awesomecast. And we are we're really kind of pushing to do a little bit more with that, because we want to get some people to help us out for the show. We need to find a new clipper. So if anybody out there wants to do a little bit of video editing, brush up on the video editing skills, create some video editing skills, we are definitely apprenticing for that kind of situation. I just had somebody get in for the Wrestling Mayhem show. I'm going to be working with our longtime fan from Kansas City over on the Wrestling Mayhem show, Brandon. So looking forward to working on that and getting those clips back up there. But like I said, Dave had a really, really great opportunity, and that's why he wasn't here on the show tonight, because he's got a lot of cool stuff going on. So always good to hear that everybody upgrading out there. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. Katie, is this the thing we were talking about when we were on the road? Oh, you're muted or something. I don't know. There you are.
I pulled the Chilla muted.
Okay.
Thing. No, yes, it is, and I think I might have had it last week and just forgot to talk about it on the show.
You were on the road and playing with my Optimus Prime. By the way, the Optimus Prime. There you go. There's my headless Optimus Prime that you were playing with, and we just put the clip out on social media about it too. So, yeah. Anyways, you go on.
So while we were in Portland, Vera Bradley, who works with a bunch of, you're probably familiar, you've probably seen a Vera Bradley product and just not realize it was Vera Bradley unless you know, are familiar with the brand. Purses, bags with that paisley print. I'm sure at some point you've seen someone carry it. But they did a partnership with Hello Kitty. They've done different things in the past, including Disney characters. They did Star Wars last year. And they've done just a bunch of different stuff. So this time it was time for Hello Kitty to get the Vera Bradley treatment. And they dropped, while we were in Portland, I think I was up at like, 6 a.m.? Yeah, it was 6 a.m. to make sure I ordered and got what I wanted. Did not sell out, but just did not want to run the risk because I wanted stuff and I wanted to get stuff for my niece, of course.
And I presume this is a line that has in the past sold out, right?
Yeah, it feels like it has. Like it's there's certain items that people will get a hold of and they're like, I need this, and then or you just end up waiting forever to get the delivery, and I'm like, no, I want it now. So I did order a few items and I did get them in finally. I will show you my tour of Vera Bradley things, and one of them is tech, amazingly enough. Wristlet, big deal. You ta-da! You obviously Hello Kitty print if you are listening on audio, and this is the Bose one. And it's got a bunch of different colored flowers and bows on it, and it's a blue background. But the thing that I really, really wanted from them was the tech case, which is also the adorable Hello Kitty blue with Hello Kitty's face and bows and flowers. And I haven't had a chance to use it yet, so that's why the tags are still on there. But on the one side, you've got your little pouches with elastic and little mesh here. And then on the other side, there's a pocket, a zipper on the front of the pocket, and then a snap for whatever cord or cable or whatever I want to put on that side. And then this little guy is a little elastic thing for my AirPods. And you just kind of stick it in here like this. And now it's ready to hit the road. I have previously, if you've seen me travel at all, there it is. Ta-da! Very adorable. Also, you could put, like, if you had a pen or a digital pen or whatever in there. I have been using this bag with animals with unicorn horns and dinosaurs and cats on it. I actually got this at the Dollar Tree, and I wish I had about 1,000 of them because I've been beating the crap out of this bag, and it's worked very well. But now I will be much more organized with my cables, and I'm pretty excited about this. And you'll see me on the road with this guy now.
Nice. The stylish in her packing of their technology, certainly. So that's and I don't see the tech bag on the list anymore over on their page. So I think that's been sold out. I would imagine. There's a RFID passport wallet though. So there you go. But if you want to see what's left over, and Chilla, if you want to get the sweet Hello Kitty slippers for your own fashionableness, you can go to verabradley.com and look up the Hello Kitty collection.
If only Chilla was here.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bunch of stuff that is no longer there.
Yep.
Wow.
So that is wild. So yes, I'm glad I ordered it early.
There you go.
Vera Bradley's got some buying power, I guess, huh? Or selling power, not buying power.
I think selling power. Yeah, definitely flying off the digital shelves, if you will. So, all right, let's go from that and let's stay practical. Krause, what's your awesome thing of the week?
All right, so I deal with lots of phones, lots of different kinds of phones, and a friend of mine actually showed this to me because he had bought it.
What is this?
It's $10. You pull off the little thing here, and you get your regular, USB-A to Lightning connector, and then you can magically pull on it, and now it's a USB-C to Lightning, or you can pull it one more time, and now it's a USB-C to USB-C.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
So this looks...
$10
$10
on Amazon.
Now this looks like I have seen not this form factor, but I've seen something like this. So where it's got the
it's magnets.
It's got the USB A to C situation. It looks like it's an Android charger is what it's labeled as, and it's branded. It's something that you get at and this looks like the kind of thing I'm going to see like a logo on
Yeah.
at a trade show or something like that. The more I look at CHAFON, CHAFON Multi Charging Cable, short, travel portable magnetic key ring 5-in-1 USB charger adapter. So I mean, and it does even have a lightning on it. It looks like.
Yep.
So,
It's Lightning, USB-C, USB-A, and USB-C. It's great. And don't get me wrong, it is a buddy of mine said, "Oh, it's too short," but I think it's actually perfect. Because it's one of those things where you want to have all the cables you possibly can have, for all the different situations. The kind of work I do. I deal with phones of all various shapes, sizes, and brands, and this will work for all of them. And it's just great.
I think Katie has seen my frustration when I'm trying to find the right cord in the mesh of cords that I bring with me when I'm packed and traveling. Because it's like, okay, I need the USB to A to C. Okay, this one's a C to C.
It's like a math problem.
Yeah, it is. And I'm just like, I know it's in this black bag somewhere,
Right.
So
and just having this one cable will always, I'll always at least have this.
Oh, geez, adding to the cart right now. So that's on Amazon. It's $9.80. That is 42% off. Apparently, it retails for $16.99 if you find this after the fact. You can get a 2-pack for $20.95. I'm not sure if that's actually that's actually more to get a 2-pack.
And I think they have a newer version that does a bit higher wattage if you're interested, and I think they're $15. But I figured for $10, this is you know what I mean? This is more than enough for one of my uses.
Not bad. Yeah. That is very nice, very practical, and fits very nicely in a Hello Kitty bag, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, and then I always have this too. Check it out. Ready?
Is that your Death Star going off in the background again?
I love that. Sorry, I had to do it. Had to do it at least once.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, Death Star, great. So I just came back from Autodrive Challenge. It's a week-long event where with General Motors and SA International.
I bet there's driving.
What's that?
I bet there's driving.
I bet. Well, sort of. So this is the second series of it. This is year 2. Last year, Katie went with me, and we to do photos, and I did video, and it's when they put a lot of the lidars and the cameras on carts to make sure they can actually see things. This year, they actually put them on the cars themselves, and seeing if they'll actually respond to things that they see and make the car move. Okay. So exciting week for that. They didn't do the automated driving until really Friday, and we were there since Sunday. And that was just the way that it was kind of set up. There's a lot of practice run stuff, access to the courts for them to do it, and they do the scoring runs this time. But there's also, they have a lot of interesting technology. It's not like most of the companies there aren't all there for recruiting. Obviously General Motors is, and there's a little bit of recruiting this happening, but a lot of it, like, our friends at MathWorks, Hexagon, the dynamic mapping planning, I think they're called. I used the company formerly known as Usher, are all there, and I got to talk to a lot of them. Dan Law was another one I had great conversations with. But they're really kind of showing tools for the students, because there are a lot of the software platforms, LiDAR hardware platforms. They're there to kind of support them in those platforms, so they're using them when they go into the field, post college and everything, right? So it's kind of a high level version of everybody has a Mac in your school, so hopefully they keep buying Macs when they grow up through college and into a career, right? So but I got to have a good conversation with Hexagon, and they had some toys, guys. They have this, they had this arm set up with this, kind of laser-looking thing on it, and I was like, hey, what's that thing about? And the arm was, more of a steadying thing, but the idea was that this thing is a scanner, all right? So all I had at the moment was my my camera that I'm using to film the event, and here he is going over this, and you can see a little bit in the background if you look really closely. It is in real time scanning in 3D this item. In a very complex thing. This is a Panasonic DVX200 camera. It's kind of a full body camera kind of situation. A lot of crevices, a lot of angles. All those things that we use that slime on that Katie talked about last week, right? By the way, that did work fantastic, Katie. I still need to go in with a little bit because I don't think I used enough slime. But anyways, no, it's a very cool thing. And then what you're going to end up with, if you took, and he just did a quick thing so you kind of get an idea how it works. But the idea is you can scan, like, say, a part, have it in 3D space. He kept telling me all the different file types, and I just realized I didn't connect with the guy to get the file so I could show it off. And you see the camera right there. Ideally, he could scan this entire thing, and then we could send it to either a CAD program or we could send it to something to 3D print this object. So let's say, like he was talking about, there was like a latch or something, that he had on a door that got broken by a kid. He scanned it with this device, and then 3D printed it, and there you go. And of course, when you're talking about automotive, and you need to make, these kids are adapting parts to their cars. There's not like really a standard for some of it yet, so they're kind of developing those ideas and need something that does this, and they can develop it and then put it up. So, and one thing they were doing to kind of show this off was we got to do a little bit because we're working with our friends at SE on their TikTok and social media. So there was a video of our friend Scott that's been on the show where he had his face scanned. Also, don't open your eyes because they are freaking laser beams. So you see him getting scanned there if you're with us on video, and you'll see there's his face a little bit. He did kind of kind of chuckle a little bit, so it got a little weird. But they had a really good. One of the students was really good about hold still. They had a perfect kind of like facial thing going on there for that. Not so much for that, but more for kind of more solid objects. So very cool. I can't tell you what it was called, but it's something Hexagon has, and Hexagon is the company name that you can go check out. You can check out that video with Scott being scanned over on SAE University programs over on the TikTok, and the Instagram should have it as well. So very cool thing. And I did talk to him about it. Like, is this something that you purchase to put into your shop, or is this something that, like, remember years ago we talked to Tech Shop Pittsburgh? I feel like they might have shuttered since around COVID or something, but like, remember that was the place that had all the 3D printers and the industrial work saws and laser saws and water jets, cutters and things like that. He's like, is this something that like ends up in something like that you kind of like rent or as part of something? He's like, yeah, they really both, like either a shop if they do enough work. They said, they work with certain places, like industrial places, that like, we just need this thing to scan one thing and make this one part. And that's all they set it up for. So it was a pretty cool thing. It was kind of see that 3D tech. Because I mean, how many times have you seen like I talked to them about, remember when we went to that place in Scroll Hill and they scanned me and made a little like 3D version of me we could turn into like a plastic action figure kind of situation. Like this took a lot quicker than even that did. Right, and of course higher resolution and everything. So, so that was a really cool toy we got to play with while we were hanging out there with Autodrive Challenge last week up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So, yeah. Krause, what would you scan with that thing?
Oh, so many things. Well, with my with the kids I volunteer with for the 3D the makerspace, we're using 3D printers and laser cutters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And to have something like that the kids could bring in their own stuff, scan it, and then reprint it with a 3D printer, it would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Katie? Anything pop in your mind? I mean, I know you've worked around a lot of not maker spaces, but you know what I mean, like people that make things.
Cat.
Well, you got to make sure the cat keeps his eyes closed so you don't blind it.
Oh yeah, they sleep a lot. They wouldn't even notice.
They sleep a lot. Yes.
Sorry, I just had one on my lap. I was like, oh, I thought it was a cat.
Awesome. So thanks again to the Hexagon people for letting us play a little bit. Can I show off some fun things before we go to break? I got something. And I listen, it was a tough week, okay? I hit a deer, I was just trying to take a break, and I hit a deer trying to go see the Transformers movie last week, and then we had a pretty successful Saturday and went, and I was like, you know what? Here's an Optimus Prime I don't have to transform. This is, guys, this is the AMC Transformers Optimus Prime popcorn bucket. And by the way, they still had the Fast and the Furious one too. This one was a lot larger. And, of course, they never give it to you with the popcorn inside. So I am curious because they had these, and apparently I lost one of these in transport because it looks like there's a straw, and actually I think it's a straw. I'm like, oh, that's going to be like the pipe for the truck. And also, I don't remember if there is an Optimus Prime transformer that's this large that isn't like that robot one that transforms itself. So yeah, and I think what happens is you have the straw. I think you put your drink in the cab is the idea. And then,
oh, that's awesome.
Right? I think that's the intention. I don't know. They hand you a bucket of popcorn and the thing in plastic and say, go be with God. When they did the Doctor Strange one, that's that cube from the Spider-Man movie. Was it from the Spider-Man movie? Yeah. I think that was it. Or maybe it was from the multiverse. Whatever it was. They handed it to you, and it's still folded up. So just like, do I need to build this and put my popcorn in it? Also, like, doesn't this thing need washed first? And also, if you wonder where the popcorn goes, there's a nice little lid on top of the trailer that you can do that with. So, you can have your popcorn as advertised, or I think you can just hide things in this thing that you don't want the kids to get to. I don't know. And also, it kind of works out. If you're like me and you have a problem transforming the actual Optimus Prime Transformer, he can ride in himself. There you go. So we've solved that problem of not being able to transform my Optimus Prime into a truck by just doing this. It's actually kind of funny because I have this one that won't transform. I have this one that will actually transform that I just fail at. But this one won't transform into an Optimus Prime Transformer. But hold on a second. Hold on, because I just realized something else we have here in the studio. Hold on a second.
Oh, we got to kill time now, Katie, I guess.
We're going to vamp.
Yeah.
If you're listening on audio, Sorg has walked away from his desk.
That won't transform into a truck.
So you have Optimus Prime in all of his forms.
What?
You have Optimus Prime in all of his forms.
In all of his forms that are incompatible with each other. So we're just going to put Optimus over back here because it's an Optimus kind of day. And yeah.
How was the movie?
The movie was great. The movie was really, really good. I'm really, really happy. I mean, listen, okay, the Transformers movie is not as good as the new Spider-Man movie, but little things. Katie, have you had a chance to see it yet?
No.
Katie, if you haven't seen it next week, I will take you to go see it when I come back from Michigan, okay?
Yay!
Like, you need a Transformers buddy for this one. Missy enjoyed it, and she's not, like, super crazy Transformers fan like I am. She tolerates my Transformers-ness. But she enjoyed it. It had to be the best of the Transformers. And Bumblebee is pretty damn good. I feel. So I feel like these are the Transformers movies I wanted from the beginning, more or less. So couple interesting choices. But other than that, there's even a little bits of the partial when they show Unicron, Katie, that remember the music from the 80s movie? Like the Unicron theme? Like they use little bits of that in there. And I was just like, so very excited about that. I'm hoping Mad Mike has seen it. We usually do spoiler talk about movies as on the Wrestling Mayhem show after dark on Patreon. So if you're over on that, well, I will probably talk about it tonight. So so stay tuned for that. So anyways, and also I also have to give a shout out to Missy. Because I was having a really bad day because of some stuff we had to handle. And while we were out and about trying to solve some of our world problems, she grabbed me this. Woohoo, you're doing great. Because surely what you need in your life is an over-enthusiastic random chicken cheering you on. And this book is as fantastic as it sounds, right? Katie, are you familiar with this thing?
I am not, but I love it.
I think everybody. This is what I'm going to get everybody for Christmas.
Is this your Christmas present this year?
I don't know. Yeah, this is like everybody's going to end up. Why do we all get this chicken book? You need a chicken to wave and cheer, and you're in luck. I'm right here. There you go.
Aww.
I don't. Nice. And I'm like, I was like, is this a children's book? And I was like, no, actually, this really speaks to me, and I haven't finished it yet. Jeez, there's surely nothing more fantastic than someone who's enthusiastic. This book is like the greatest Instagram, channel. So we're just gonna put that right there because I might need that later. Anyways, I'm done with that. I'm done with the craziness. So, jeez. Where's the button at? There you go. Also, what makes us happy? Pizza. Our good friends at Beach Slice on Broadway. New York City style yins are made, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and the North Hills, and the South Side Works. That's right. Some 5 great locations across the greater Pittsburgh area. Go check out our friends, sliceonbroadway.com, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Do we want to talk cars? Do we want to talk Xbox? Do we want to talk... Oh, there's something else that was in here. Keyboards? What is going on here? Actually, Katie, let us know what's going on with Netflix.
Netflix, so they're finally talking about how they're planning their first live sports event with celebrities playing golf. And
exciting.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is with the writers on strike and soon SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, to be on strike, we are about to be hit with a world of reality.
Yes.
Whether that is reality TV, whether it is sports, and this one is putting the both in together. So I guess apparently Netflix is still trying to maintain all the money that they continue to make on top of everything else, and not paying folks what they should be paid. But they're going to keep making all the money, and they're like, well, you know what? We could do sports. That's like live, and that's like reality. Let's do it. So I think this is going to be a trend we're about to see here real hard in the next few days, months, weeks. It's going to be a rough season of reality, and I don't like how reality is definitely going to be marrying sports every which way we look now, especially if this does well for Netflix.
Yeah. They've already tiptoed into live a little bit. They had the Chris Rock special. They had the one reality show reunion special that actually failed. That they had an issue with. So I mean, what better than something that is low stakes? It's celebrity golf. Right? And so it's not like the PGA that people will be upset if the stream's not working as much because, oh no, I'm not going to know what happened when something happened. So this has been a long time coming, and maybe things are kind of getting boosted because of the situation on their side. With something like this, but you're going to see this across the board. You're right. You're going to see reality TV. Hey, you know what else is doing really well? Professional wrestling, because what's not part of, doesn't have officially screen actors, even a union, and don't have writers that are in a union. Professional wrestling, which is interesting because they do have writers, so who may or may not have been in the union. So yeah, you're right, but I think more so the streaming aspect is really interesting on this. That Netflix is going more in this direction.
Well, I mean, Hulu's already kind of been in that world, and I think they
And Peacock is they a lot of their NBC Sports I think is over there now, right? And I think they've been carrying some of the football that Amazon has. So this is kind of the next step for everything. Is the roll onto this. So, so AWS I know caused some issues in this studio today.
Did it?
And yeah. We thought it was the internet, but nothing I was working with was having a problem, but everything somebody else was working with was. And then finally we found the AWS was down. I did not think about this being an issue, but now I'm realizing Slice on Broadway had major problems with their console tonight.
Oh.
And I wonder they used something like Toast or something like that. I wonder if this was related. Katie, what's going on?
So AWS, we had a little bit of a breakdown today, and a lot of the fast food apps, Taco Bell, Burger King, I think what else? The other McDonald's was the third one. We're all talking about how their apps all went down because of this AWS outage. And you don't think, I don't know, like I wouldn't think that I don't think you would be thinking about like the apps, like the fast food apps and those kind of apps when you run into a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it went down for everybody. I was trying to pull up Toast to see if I could tell if it went down today too, if that was part of the issue. But yeah, so there was a big old shutdown on a lot of websites and things. And they also, it sounds like things are supposed to be up and running again now, like right before the show started, like right before 7 p.m. AWS was like, everything is cool. We are all cool. So hopefully these issues are taken care of. But if you were trying to order fast food for dinner on an app, you may have had a problem.
That makes sense. Because at first I'm like, oh, Slice is like too small. Why would they be on AWS? But I realized like they go through a service like this, and so this is interesting because we've had this before, and we've seen our productivity, Twitter, things like that go down. Like I never remember these apps being affected. Do we think like? Krause, you're a little more in this space than both the two of us. Is it possible this is just like a section that affected these apps? In particular?
Right. It could be some particular piece of AWS that was affected, and it happens. You know, that's cloud services. You know, things go down even if they're in the magical cloud. You know, but we had a problem just a couple weeks ago. Same thing, cloud app and all of a sudden nobody could connect to anything, you know, and you wait 20 minutes, half hour, and it's back. But yeah, that's more. It's more common than you would think, you know.
And this goes to, I mean, you know, we always talk about with the video production where live streaming is like we have to have redundancies. That reminds me, Krause, let's do an After Dark because I need to tell you about a very specific issue I had live streaming this weekend that I've never thought of before. When you're tune into After Dark when I tell Krause about how my very, very large, very, very important live stream this weekend could have gone wrong because of one thing I never considered geographically in the city of Detroit. So let's mark that. But no, it is interesting. So you know, because no matter what you're on one of these services, or you're on a service that you don't know is on one of these services. It could be on Microsoft.
And that's where it gets tricky. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
it's
exactly
on Azure. It's on you know, with Microsoft. It's on AWS. Although strangely, I don't hear about too many Azure down at times. But but is that because of the success of Amazon? Because Amazon's been really, really good about getting platforms to adopt it. So. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that, and I don't expect an answer to that tonight.
Right.
So, but somebody close to that, I would love to hear that discussion on. So I'll be listening to some of my other podcasts with people in those spaces this week to see if there's anything out of that. So, okay, Krause, we got you here, and that means we got to talk about the recent just this week Xbox Xbox announcements.
Sunday.
This was the Xbox Game Showcase. This was pretty much in lieu of E3 existing this year. Sony did something about a week ago, I think. My time is all weird. I got surprised WWDC even existed last week. So Apple Vision was like was a surprise to me. But so the biggest thing coming out of me, I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually watch the trailers for games or anything like that. I've kind of heard some impressions of this and that game. But the more interesting thing to me, and there's been rumbles of this before, but you know, I still have my Nvidia GeForce Now service, which is cloud gaming for PC. But apparently they're bringing PC Game Pass to that GeForce Now service. So I guess what that's going to mean is when I'm in GeForce Now, and I can log into Microsoft Game Pass, and have access to those games on that service. Yeah. So if you're something that maybe you don't have Game Pass, or honestly, in a lot of cases, Nvidia GeForce Now works better than Game Pass. Game Pass is getting better, but like GeForce has been a lot more solid. It's been one of the more solid, I feel, systems. Honestly, Stadia was the most solid, RIP. But but Nvidia has, like, if I can play games that I think I'm having problems on certain devices or in certain situations, and just use a GeForce Now instead, where I know it's solid, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, the showcase, it was done in two parts. So they had a game showcase, and then they did basically a 1 hour Starfield deep dive. And
okay, can you explain Starfield real briefly to us?
Starfield is a brand new IP from the guys who made the Morrowind and what's the Vault game? God, it just walked out of my head. But anyway, so this is a brand new IP. It's a new a single player RPG. There's supposedly going to be 1,000 planets in the game. That's it, Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls folks, and it looks like it's going to be really good. This is one of the games that I'm really looking forward to. And actually, it's kind of funny because a couple different companies did game showcases. So, and two of the games that I'm really excited about is Starfield, and then while it was on the Xbox show, it's actually another company's game. It's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Is the Star Wars Outlaws game, another open world RPG kind of game. Looks like it's going to be really good. It's between the second and third movie, so it's right in that sweet spot. Not people that you've seen in the movies or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Just looks like it's going to be really good. If you get a chance, I would recommend watching both the Starfield and the Star Wars Outlaws trailer. They both look great.
The biggest thing I can't. I'm sorry. I was tinkering, so I'm not sure if you said this, but the video, the comments I heard about the video on Star Wars Outlaws, it looks like Grand Theft Auto in the Star Wars universe.
Kind of, yes.
So, yeah, which that's pretty exciting to me. So
yes, exactly. And I even had I had to actually turn the TV on because I was watching this trailer. And my wife was sitting in the living room, and I'm like, I just need you to watch this for like 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. Just give me 2 minutes, because I just can't even believe it's like you're playing a movie. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Look at these graphics. You know what I mean? It's incredible. And I really can't get over it. The other one that I thought looked very interesting, I don't know if you played any of the Fable games. There's a new Fable game coming that looks really good. They got one of the guys that was in the
IT crowd.
Yeah. Looks like, he's going to be the new narrator of the game. Looks really interesting. Just, and
Dave,
and now,
vegetable enthusiast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now it's up to Xbox, because let's be honest, their track record recently hasn't been great with delivering games. They've had some problems. Mm-hmm. So hopefully things get better, and hopefully we start seeing some smoother rollouts of games. There were a bunch of these games that aren't coming until next year, but there are a good bit that are coming out this year. It keeps that dream of Game Pass going. Mm-hmm. I am a Game Pass subscriber. When I bought my Xbox, I bought the whole buy it for 2-year thing, and everything was included. I actually just finished paying it off, so now I'm actually paying for Game Pass because I do like the service that much. It's just weird. Like, I want to play the Star Wars game that actually just came out, the second version of it, mm-hmm. and it's killing me because I haven't purchased a game in so long.
I still haven't beat the first one.
Buy a game.
I still haven't beat the first one that's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, but I keep buying like WWE. I'm looking at Street Fighter when I get off the road here, and AEW has a game out. So the trick is you don't buy games that have an ending. So you don't feel like you didn't cheat yourself by this thing, right? And you just wait for it to come. I'm very patient, so I'm still playing 2 Assassin's Creeds ago, and I'm like 30 hours into this thing, and I'm not seeing the end anytime soon. And I feel like I've been playing that game for like a year, and then like I keep dipping back into the Jedi. Was it not the Last Jedi?
Fallen Order.
Is it Fallen Order?
Is Jedi Fallen Order?
Jedi Fallen Jedi.
That's
Order
with Cal Kestis and the little. Yeah, the new one just came out.
Yes.
And I keep wanting to buy. Well, you can see from my shirt, I'm a Star Wars fan.
No. Your room. Your entire environment here. Speaks to us.
Okay, I don't want to get sidetracked, but another thing too, like the new flight simulators coming with, by the way, Dune. The Dune plane is going to be in the new flight simulator, which I thought was kind of cool.
Okay, and I understand.
Scroll down that page, Sorg. You can see it there.
Oh, geez,
it looks really neat.
Okay, I'll look that up. And I understand if you get any updates. So if you got the Top Gun Maverick bundle or anything like that, that's all supposed to be upward compatible to the new version. My experience.
Sea of Thieves is getting Monkey Island for those old school gamers. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of a cool integration there to tie those two things together.
Okay.
So that looks cool too.
Here's footage of the Dune plane from and you actually there is like a Dune map, I presume, that you can fly over. Right.
Like, look at this. How freaking neat is this, huh?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So there was just a lot of good stuff, and I'm excited for Xbox, and I hope they can deliver. Everything that they're promising, it will be wonderful. So
yeah, this lineup looks fun. I mean, it's not like, it's not God of War. It's not like a lot of like really kind of heavy hitter names. There's a new Cyberpunk. Hopefully, do better with that one. It's
the
a lot
Cyberpunk does look cool. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
I was a fan of that game. Yeah, that's another one that got a bad start. You know what I mean? I never really had a problem with it,
and that wasn't an Xbox problem. That was that studio.
Right.
That was generally
that
studio
studio.
Had a problem. Hopefully, it can redeem themselves there. But there's they've always had. I've always been impressed by new IPs with Xbox, especially just random stuff. Like, just in the last couple of weeks, because let's be honest with these, between Baja and Autodrive, I'm hanging out with a lot of geeks. Okay, and there was a big discussion about. Do you remember the game Grounded? That was basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the RPG, action RPG. And we were talking about the spiders and everything like that. Somebody else I was talking to about Flight Simulator, and how my only real limited experience with Flight Simulator is I downloaded it, started playing it, tried to find my house, and crashed in Venucci Field over here. So this does resonate with people, as much as they say, well, it's not Spider-Man. It's like, okay, great, that's for the masses, but I think there's like kind of another level of hardcore gamer here. They're digging a lot of what's happening over here. I was really excited because I got a kind of as a part of this, Bethesda had a sale. And I meant to share. I can't remember if I shared this over on the Facebook or I wanted to kick it over to Chill and Katie since I know you guys have Switches. But they had it was weird seeing like a sale from a Microsoft-owned company that included Nintendo Switch games to me, because they were a lot of their Dunes and Quakes and things like that were are obviously going to be cross-compatible, and they're all like a really good price. They were like $3 for Quake and Doom, like 3 or something like that.
That's awesome.
So definitely if you guys want to clean up
Game Pass to the Nintendo Switch, please.
If they cross over Game Pass to a Nintendo Switch, the Switch just became the Xbox portable. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, why not? Why not? I'm sure there's reasons, but why not just have like Game Pass streaming app download on your Nintendo Switch at this point, right? Why can't they just?
Exactly.
I mean, I think there's something about they're both up there in Washington. I think it's like that thing where, they're down the street from each other.
They can be frenemies. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, I think it all kind of works together, right? I don't know where Nvidia's based.
Exactly.
So that's it.
And the other thing too that was interesting to see is the Xbox Series S, very popular console, much better cost
one I got.
price.
Yep.
Now they're going to issue a 1 terabyte version, and it's going to come in black. So if you don't want the white console, you can get the black one.
The S is so small, and I realize I don't. And since the thing keeping me from playing my Xbox is it's downstairs, and I'm just more comfortable upstairs right now. And I just like it's so small. I'm just actually considering just taking it upstairs, downstairs, depending on where I want to play it. Kind of like it's just.
If you think about it, you could have a whole other set of cables just in both places, and then just plug it in.
They're all standard cables. I don't think there's a brick with it, is there? I can't remember. I
don't have a Series S, so I couldn't tell you. I know my X doesn't, but that's because it's in the tower.
If yours doesn't, then mine probably does. Almost definitely doesn't. Because I looked, I'm like, that's just a regular, that's the regular power cable. Yeah, this is the power cable sign. So it's. Oh my God. Okay. We're going to figure out that clipping real quick so we could use those. But anyways, I'm actually trying something tonight. And I'll tell you about it later if it worked. As far as when it comes to clips and stuff like that. Anyways, so very cool. Katie, I know you are in the Nintendo Switch world. Is there anything out of this that kind of sticks out for you? Or even the idea of maybe an Xbox Game Pass on Switch?
That's exciting. I think that would be great.
I mean, we're all pondering at that point, but there's a lot of crossover happening, right? You're right.
Yeah.
So, Xbox, Microsoft needs to make it. They want to buy.
Activision.
Activision, and they want to make everything work with everything else. So why not?
Playing nice with Nvidia, which really kind of, I mean, when you look at it, Nvidia kind of doubles the thing that they're trying to do, but it's also another platform that's PC-ish based, right? Why not? Nintendo's just another platform which you can say does not directly compete. I mean, if you look at it, I feel like most gamers have a PlayStation or an Xbox and a Switch. Right?
I would agree.
It makes sense. It just seems like the platform, and I
hate to say it, my Switch most of the time sits around and does nothing. I really hate to admit that, but it does.
Mm-hmm. Well, we all have only so much time going on, right? So, anyways, so very cool stuff there. I think that was the big takeaway I had from the Xbox announcements. I want to talk cars, and this is probably because I'm just in the mindset from this week, but these really stuck out. And actually, one of these was mentioned by one of the bigwigs from General Motors. I was just actually going over the footage today for the final highlight reel, and he mentioned it, and I remembered it was on the podcast this weekend that I listened to. So General Motors, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think maybe some other providers may have too. General Motors has partnered with Tesla to access the supercharger infrastructure. So according to this, probably, if anything, Tesla probably has the biggest infrastructure of chargers out there. I know we've seen them in our travels popping up everywhere from Wawa to the Ohio Turnpike, as far as at least the East Coast goes. And of course, depending on where you're at. So it's a good starting point there. And there was they're doing a $750 million investment in EV charging infrastructure in the U.S. and Canada. This is in 2021. That doesn't seem right. But it allows GM EV drivers to access 12,000 Tesla superchargers across North America starting from early next year. So that to me, that seems like big news. To kind of expand that out, right? So, Ford will use. Who dropped that in there?
That's me.
Thank you, because it has you labeled as anonymous Rhino. Thank you, Google
that's
Docs.
Weird because I'm signed in. Yeah.
I don't understand why that works that way. There you go. Car and drivers, Ford will use a Tesla EV charging, but that's only part of the story, according to them. And this is and I kind of along with this, the one podcast, I listened to Twit obviously, and they had the it was their car podcast or something that did a takeover on the show. So they talked a lot about cars, and one pontification was like they're investing in this, but I don't think they want Elon to run the show, because I feel like that would be a problem. So I think this is more of an agreement than anything else. So hopefully.
Well, let's be honest. Right now, if you drive an electric car, you want to use their chargers because they have more of them than anyone else does.
Oh yeah, and from my own experience, like if you are using other chargers, like they're kind of iffy. Okay, I have experience with one charger that wasn't a supercharger, and it didn't work. Yeah, it was a rando one that I had to sign up for on an app, and then I tried plugging it into the Tesla with the adapter they had included, and it did not work. So now I got a random thing on my phone that I signed up for and attached a bank account to, and I've never heard of it before, and now I'm stuck with it, So, and again, it was it was a rental. It's not like I have an EV. So, but I mean, this is growing pains. This is the kind of stuff that's getting worked out, and this is the kind of steps that need to happen for this thing to work. So, the next thing is some kind of investment by like a BP or a Sunoco or something to say, hey, we're going to start putting these in every gas station. That's what needs to happen. Honestly, that needs or the chain. Like Sheetz is already getting Tesla and other chargers in theirs. They were obviously investing. They still, and maybe that's it. Maybe the gas stations, like maybe the chains of gas stations like the Sheetz and Wawas and whatever you have in your neighborhood that come and go. I don't know. That they invest because either way, even if people leave gas, they need a reason to come into the convenience store where they actually make the money.
I was going to say, don't they call that a loss leader?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Hey,
they don't
come in and use our electric, but you're going to come and buy, you're going to spend 45 minutes here.
Yeah, Joe Sunoco doesn't make money off the gas, to my knowledge. It's
right.
You come in and buy the Red Bull. That's what they make
right.
the money from. So, like, they have to continue to bring you in with that and the car wash and whatever, that they have to maintain. So kind of a high dollar thing. So I don't know. Katie, haven't been along with me on my EV experience. What do you think of this? Are you groaning over the Tesla involvement in general, or just the ugliness of the situation?
Ugliness of the whole thing, and like it's like we keep getting hung up on so many, like we were so close to making these huge advancements with things, but nobody kept playing nice.
Oh yeah, but this is them playing nice, so
But but it's like
at the moment
places are still that's it. It's like, oh,
you hear something like this, then I hear that General Motors is abandoning the CarPlay and Android Play platforms. Which makes me never want to buy a General Motors. I'm sorry. To me, because I think the greatest thing, I said this to Missy the other day, I was like, the greatest thing is I literally went from one car to another in the last 2 weeks, and they all had CarPlay, so I didn't have to figure out the interface.
Right.
I plugged in my phone, and I used Waze, and I used my YouTube Music, no matter what, and it more or less operated the same across all those platforms. That is very specific to somebody who drives rental cars.
Sorg, but one of the challenges of that is, though, and I've listened on a couple podcasts because obviously I don't own an EV either, but part of the problem is the car, like when you're preparing it to go charge, you set the destination and then the car prepares the battery for charging, depending on the situation you're in. And so that's why they're leaning away from CarPlay and Android Auto, because those functions can't be done via those interfaces.
Really?
Like
Is it?
Well,
I hadn't heard that.
Because think about it, because every car manufacturer, every battery, every model, they're all a little different. You know what I mean? So there's probably specific things that you need to do to get the battery ready to accept a charge in a Ford Lightning versus a Chevy Volt. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just going to say I didn't see the fart app get disabled when we were preparing for charging in the Tesla. So
yeah, right.
And also, like, how much? I'm curious where that I'd like to hear more, but I can't imagine like the way that like CarPlay, Android Play works on top of things that would affect those kinds of functions. I feel like those would be separated, and they can just and that would be.
And you're right.
They
probably
energy,
could
right?
just draw a line somewhere.
Yeah, I would love to hear more justification on that. So
yeah.
Well, Krause, thank you for joining us. It's so good to have you on here. You're looking great. Your room is so nerdy. I love it. I've missed the Death Star. I missed the light up Death Star going on there.
Yeah.
I missed the family photo in the background. The the droid family photo.
The family photo.
Thank you so much. Crazy Krause with the K's on the Twitter.
Yep.
I don't know if you're doing anything over there these days.
I lurk.
You lurk.
I don't
He's
have
a
a whole lot
lurker.
to say.
He's watching you. He's watching you.
Yeah.
Krause is watching out there. Also, Katie with a K with us. Kate is on Twitter, Kate Marie PGH on the Instagrams for all of your adventures. And you're going to Tay-Tay this weekend.
Yes, you get to see my Eras-themed outfit / just pure chaos of the whole
I can't wait. This is what's going to get me through Endurance and Awards Day. Is getting the Taylor Swift updates. Okay, so make sure I'm getting those. So thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, thank you at Sorgatron on the Twitter. If you can see a lot of the craziness that happened with me from the last couple of weeks here. Actually, most of it was on stories. I haven't done any posts yet. But keep on there because I'm going on our road trip, and for the first time, I'm going to be working with my sister as my photographer for Formula at the Speedway. Michigan Speedway, so that's going to be exciting. I realize I don't know if I've spent more than like a day with my sister in like 15 years. So I'm sure we won't kill each other. But anyways, it'll be fun. It should be fun. I hope it's fun. Thank you, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Please have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.